Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon. And then I post it up to Facebook. And then I do these weekly questions on Wednesday and post that up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. I would like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. So if you are in any other country other than the US of A and you want to get into a therapist quickly, go to BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. And you'll fill out some questions and they will set you up with a licensed professional therapist here in the United States, master's level or PhD level. If it turns out you don't like your therapist, you just go on, fill out some questions, say, hey, didn't like them. Here's the reason why. Here's what I'm looking for more. And they'll set you up with somebody else. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. And I've been getting good feedback. So that makes me very happy that people are using them and they like them. So that's important. And they are affordable, which is even more important. So BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, let us dive into, hold on, why am I getting these notifications? Oh, that drives me crazy. Okay, so let's dive into the questions. So one of the questions I got, if I can get over here, okay, is it appropriate to call out harmful behavior using psychological terminology? Like, for example, calling out someone when someone is projecting, gaslighting, attempting to rewrite the narrative, et cetera, et cetera. I'd love to know your thoughts on that if you have time to comment on it. So, okay, here's the deal. Unless you are a therapist, I don't think it's a good idea. But you can call them out without using psychological terms. So, okay, so, and let me explain why. So when I'm helping people that are going through a court case, for example, their natural inclination is to be like, but they need to know that they're a narcissist and they're this and they've done that and they gaslight and they lie and da 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 da. And it's like, stop, take a deep breath. You cannot do that. The courts are really weird. Don't get me. Don't get me started. Too late. So no, I hate the family court system. In this country, it is so beyond broken, it's not even funny. So if a target of abuse goes in and starts using technical terms, psychological terms, the opposing attorney is going to eat them up and spit them out for breakfast, which just, I don't like those types. Anyway, the reason they do that is because unless you're a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a counselor, therapist, etc., they don't want those terms thrown around because this is a legal document. This needs to be backed up by facts and figures. And even though you, I, and the dog down the street knows that the ex is a narcissist, you can't just march in there and say that. You would need to have a psychological evaluation, and those are dicey. So, and I will get back to the original question, I promise, but I just wanted to kind of cover this. Those are dicey because sometimes the eval people you get are good. The psychological evaluation people you get are good and can recognize an abuser when they see one. And others are like, lights are on, engines running, nobody's home. They don't get it. They fall for it. They just, yeah, it's just annoying. So psychological evaluations can be a real double-edged sword, unless, of course, your ex is just so blatantly cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that you literally can tell that there's something off with them. And in some cases, that's the case, especially if they're a dark triad. So if they've got multiple personality disorders, psychosis, paranoia, antisocial, if they've got a whole bunch of, a toxic soup going, and it's obvious to anybody who listens to them for more than 2 seconds, then yeah, you might want to go have a psych eval done so that you can show that this person is just woohoo, you know what I'm saying? But it can backfire because I've had other clients go and do it when everybody, like the attorney involved and everybody was like, oh yeah, go get a psych eval. They went and got the psych eval. Psych eval person handed it off to an intern. Intern didn't catch it. So don't get me started. I just, there's so much screwed up in this system. It's not even funny. And of course, some of the judges, some of the attorneys, they're narcissists themselves. So it makes it very dicey. But the court system is unlike anything you will have ever experienced. Again, it is breathtaking. Don't get me started. So if you really want to understand what's going on, there we go. In the court system, The No-Nonsense Guide to Divorce by Lori Hellis. Excellent. Excellent book. Highly recommend it. Because when we're involved in an abusive relationship, emotions are running us, right? Because there's been so much abuse and there's been so much of this other stuff going on from the abuser. Court systems, all they want is facts, figures, no emotion, get off their docket as soon as you can. That's really what they want. At any one time, judges will have over 800 cases at any one time. So no, they're not going to know your case intimately. I've had several people get very angry that they go in to see the judge, and it's a judge that they've been in front of before, and the judge kind of is like, let me look this up. I don't remember this. Let me go through. And and they get angry, and I understand, because it's like you want to feel like your public servant. Let me just point that out. Judges are there at our behest, and they're not doing their damn job, and the government's not letting them do their damn job, and the family court system is broken. I'm sorry. Get off your high horse, Chris. Just stop. Okay. So the point being is that they are there at our behest, but they've got 800 cases at any point in time. They're not going to remember every single case. Should they? Well, yeah, but 800 cases, that's a lot. So I can kind of see their point of view, but it's frustrating to people going through a divorce, a custody battle, etc., because it makes it feel impersonal, and courts are impersonal. They are not warm and fuzzy, loving, kind, caring, supportive, etc., fill in the blank. And as I said, a lot of judges and attorneys are narcissists themselves. So stop. So going into a court system can be kind of a shock, seriously, because you don't know what to expect, because most people hopefully never see the inside of a court, never have to deal with attorneys, never have to deal with judges. And when you go in there, it is a completely different world. They have a completely different language. They have a completely different set of etiquette and rules and things like that. And so to go in and start using psychological terms, that other attorney is going to eat you up for breakfast and spit you out for lunch. Unless you are licensed professional, whatever. And even at that, I wouldn't recommend it. I would have somebody else that's licensed professional do that. But again, psych evals, crapshoot, which is not good. When you are calling out people, now I do all the time because I don't put up with doo-doo, you know that. Seriously, like if somebody in my personal life or total stranger or whatever starts doing their crazy dance, I will be like, this is your issue, not mine. I am not taking this on. You need to back the hell off. So you can do the projecting that way because you're calling it out as projection. This is your issue, not mine. You need to back the hell off. You need to take this back, or you need to hang on to that because I'm not accepting it. Have fun with that. So do you see where I'm going with that? So you can call it out without using the psychological terms. I don't recommend doing the psychological terms. Here's the other thing. If you are dealing with a narcissist or a psychopath or a dark triad or whatever that has not had themselves be called out to the carpet, and you use psychological terms, what they'll then do is go find websites like mine or start reading up on it and educate themselves as to what these terms mean so that they can then flip the script and accuse you of gaslighting and accuse you of doing this and you of doing that, because that's what they do. It's Alice in Wonderland. It's like they accuse you of the very thing that they are doing. So you've just got to be, when you're calling somebody out, firm, stand strong in your certainty, and do not put up with crap. Not my poop, not my coop. I'm not dealing with this. Mother clucker, you need to go bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Seriously. And it's funny because occasionally, not very often now, thank God, but every once in a while, I will have a disordered person either, come into the chat or come onto these questions or whatever and try to start something. And I'm just like, no, I'm not playing. Sorry, you go play somewhere else because this is not my problem. This is your problem. Bye-bye. I don't like what you're saying, and you're stigmatizing narcissists. Well, hell yeah, I'm stigmatizing abusers. You bet I am. because they shouldn't be abusing. I'm not going to tolerate that. To sit in silence is to give silent approval, and I'll be damned if I'm going to do that. So y'all can just go suck an egg. Oh, I wish I could swear. Damn, I wish I could swear. Ooh, anyway, there is that. So, yeah, so I hope that answered the question, and that's why you don't want to do it, because unless you're, for two reasons. One, the abuser will go, oh, psychological terms. Oh, I can use this against them. And then they'll go learn as much as they can and then flip the script. Or they'll, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a therapist. You're not a this, you're not a that. And I'm just sitting here going, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Look, it does not take a rocket scientist or a therapist to recognize gaslighting or projection or abuse when you see it. So yeah, there that is. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. Okay, let's see. Where am I here? But I absolutely call out abusive, manipulative behavior. I don't put up with it. Absolutely not. That is absolutely not allowed in my realm of existence. It's not. I don't. Life is too short. No, thank you. So yeah, if somebody's being a jerk to somebody else and they're a friend of mine, yeah, I'll stand up for them. Yeah, I'll say something. Yeah, I'll get into somebody's face. I won't put up with that. I won't. I just won't. I'm sorry. Like I said, to do nothing is to basically give approval. And no, thank you. Not a flying monkey. Have fun with that. So yeah, hope that answered the question. But you can call them out. This is your stuff, dude, not mine. I'm not playing. You go somewhere else. Bye-bye. Or if they're rewriting history. Nope, that's not the way it happened. Isn't that interesting that you're telling a complete and total lie? You call it out for what it is. You don't need to use fancy psychological terms. Now, the only time I would do this is if you've got witnesses and you are safe, right? Because some narcissists, a lot of them are cowards. A lot of them are just absolute frickin' cowards. Some of them, though, ASD or antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, and you got to be careful. But if you feel the need, like seriously, like if they're harming somebody or if they're trying to harm you, you have the right to be like, I'm not believing your lies. You need to get the hell out of my face right now. And usually they back off because they're cowards. But, use common sense, use discretion, use, whatever. So no, you don't need to use psychological terms. You can call it what it is without having to use psychological terms. And you can let them know you're not going to put up with it. And then make sure you block them and have nothing to do with them. So they will go on a smear campaign, just letting you know. Years ago, I was at a party and this guy was just inappropriate and racist and using all sorts of names. And I finally stood up and loudly said, I'm not okay with this. This is abusive. This is not okay. And you need to stop. And, I'm sorry. He totally started backpedaling. He was using all sorts of racist terms and everything. And I'm married to a man who is half Mexican and half Italian. And he was using like all the negative epithets for that. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to put up with that. It's like, hello, last name Godinez, So, yeah. So yeah, you stand up for what you know to be right. Abso-freaking-lutely. And don't be afraid. Narcissists deal in intimidation. They want you to be intimidated. That's why they go and hire an attorney that's just like them. Because they're looking for somebody that's going to intimidate you. That's why you need a really good attorney that understands how these mother cluckers think and what they do and how they intimidate. And you need an attorney who's going to get right back up in their face, because I'll tell you what, they'll fold. They don't like it when especially the opposing attorney comes back at them and goes, funny, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here. And then they get wound up and then they make a mistake and then the judge sees them for what they are, which is beautiful. Those cases make me so happy. And then Brent and I go out to lunch afterwards. It's fabulous. So anyway, Brent's my attorney guy that I love in Mesa. He's amazing. Brent Bryson. I love him. Anyway, where was I? Sorry, I got off on a tangent. But yeah, you don't put up with it. You don't put up with abuse. You absolutely, if somebody is in trying to intimidate you, and they try, and I think I've told these stories before when I was in the homeless shelter. I've had drunks and drug addicts come right up into my face and start spitting and screaming because they were angry because I said, you got to give up your drug of choice. And they thought that if they just screamed at me and spit at me, that I would somehow go, oh, you're right, you can keep using. No, I screamed right back at them. I'm like, not playing. Have fun with that. So, and then of course, they lost their privileges at the shelter. So, dumb. Narcissists are dumb, guys. They think they're the smartest things ever on the face of the planet, and they're not. And so they get away with as much as they think they can. And then when somebody finally does stand up to them, they're always shocked. They're always like, oh, you can't talk to me like, watch me. Watch me. Because I'm not putting up with this. So you've got to start working on self-esteem. So if you're dealing with narcissists that you have to call out, so like in my job, when I was working at the shelter, especially now in private practice, no, I don't have to do that. Thank God. So I love being in private practice so much. But anyway, the point being is that if you're in a job where you have to confront somebody who's a bully and you have to deal with somebody who is harming somebody else, you have to be rock solid certain sun comes up in the east, you know who you are, and you're not going to be intimidated by them. And you can't allow that. I mean, I've been on court cases where the judge tried to intimidate me. I've been on court cases where the lawyer tried to intimidate me. And it's just like, guess what? I grew up with one of you jerks. I'm not going to be intimidated. Have fun. You know? So, yeah. So it's just, yeah. They tend not to like me when I don't bull under. So anyway, the point being is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to call it out if you're in a safe space. Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, absolutely not. You know, you cannot call out that behavior. Remember, they would rather have negative attention than no attention at all. And then they will take whatever you say and they will use it against you. Now, in these instances that I was talking about, this was more like, you know, out in public, social situation, somebody's being inappropriate, somebody's being, you know, just a racist, sexist, inappropriate pig. Yeah, that's perfectly fine to be like, no, not in my space. You need to go somewhere else. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't do that in an abusive relationship or in a situation where you're not going to be safe. Does that make sense? So again, okay, road rage. People are crazy. So you got to be really careful out there. You know, in the old days, it would be like, you know, things would happen and people would be like, you know, that thing, no problem, right? Now, if you even look at them, at least here in Arizona, they'll pull out a gun. They do. So again, you've got to use common sense and you've got to use discretion as to when you express what you're hearing and seeing. You see where I'm going with like that? It's like if somebody's being a jerk on the road, I just back way the hell off and let them go be a jerk to somebody else. And I start dialing 911. So, you know, it's like, So, you know, be careful because disordered people are crazy. I cannot really stress that enough. They do not think the way we do. They do not process the way we do. They would rather have negative attention than no attention at all. You know, and their currency is intimidation. They want to intimidate people. They want to make people shut up. They want to make people not say anything. So calling them out, I think, when they're, you know, harming somebody else and you're seeing it is perfectly okay. But just be aware there may be repercussions if they're particularly insane. Does that make sense? So there that is. I hope that answered the question. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Can quiet borderlines have a healthy romantic relationship? Yes, absolutely. If they are getting help, if they are working on emotional regulation, if they are working on the trauma that created the maladaptive borderline behavior. Absolutely. If they are working on themselves. When it doesn't work is when they stop working on themselves. They stop doing the self-awareness and the mindfulness and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they start sliding back into old maladaptive behaviors. That's when it doesn't work. So yeah, absolutely. They can have a healthy relationship, caveat, if they are working on themselves. They are doing the emotional regulation. They're doing DBT, dialectic behavioral therapy. They're continuing to do the skills that were taught to them, and they're able to, you know, have mindfulness and recognize where is this coming from, and they're working on the trauma. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can. Absolutely. What causes codependency? Okay. Codependency is when we were raised by parents, and I use the term loosely in some cases, that were either abusive, absent, or neglectful, drug addicts, alcoholics. In some cases, there was a medical issue that was going on that forced the child to become the parent. So kids become codependent when they learn that they get positive affirmations or positive reinforcement when they're constantly caring for other people. And that's really bad because it's not a kid's job to raise all the siblings. They didn't choose to have children, but these parents are forcing this kid to be the second mom, the second dad, whatever. And they have to raise all these little ones, but they get praise for it. Oh, you're such a good little mommy. Oh, you're such a good little daddy. Oh, fudge. It makes me angry. It's not the kid's job. They didn't sign up for it. And it makes me angry when people have children and have a job in mind for them. So, like, for example, the most classic is, oh, if I have a baby, it's going to save the relationship. No, if you have a baby and your relationship is in trouble, it's going to get worse, not better. Children are a huge amount of time, energy, love, commitment, etc. And if you're with a narcissist, they get angry and jealous when you spend time with the baby. I know. It's just things that just make you go, oh, can I go to a different planet next time that doesn't have anybody that's disordered? Thanks. Um, seriously. So, codependency is learned. It's a learned behavior. It's learned because we've learned that if we take care of mom or we take care of dad or we take care of the kids that are younger than us, and in some cases, the kids that are older than us, that we'll get kudos, we'll get that feel good feeling. So that's other esteem. So we're quickly looking for ways to do things for people all the time, as opposed to doing for ourselves and having good boundaries and doing for others, without the expectation of being praised for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what causes codependency. It's when we are parentified at a very young age to be either caregivers to the younger ones, caregivers to the parents, caregivers to the older ones, whatever, and we get positive affirmations for that, and so that then carries on into our adult life, and we suddenly are like, oh, if they're not okay, I'm not okay. No, 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 no. If you're not okay, you're not okay. Boundary. You are not responsible for other people. You are not. Unless, of course, it's your child, in which case you are. But, emotionally speaking, you're not responsible for the adults around you. You're not. They're responsible for themselves. They are 100% responsible for their 50% of your relationship. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's really important to recognize that it's a learned behavior and then start working on it. Get with a good trauma therapist. Start going back through the Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor or by Lucia Cappuccioni. So start working on how old were you when you were put into that parental role? When did that happen? So yeah, start working on that. Okay, so there is that question. In the beginning, the sex was great. As soon as we got engaged, though, it dried up. Should I call off the wedding? Oh dear. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm gonna say if it were me, I would call it off. Because here's the deal. What I've seen narcissists do is the sex is amazing in the beginning. And then as soon as they know they have the hooks into you, intimacy drives up. There's just nothing. There's nothing. There's no intimacy, no sex, no cuddling, no kissing, no hugging, no this, no that. And the excuses are usually, oh, I'm busy, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. And I'm sitting here going, no, So this is a common thing that narcissists do. So I would strongly suggest getting with a therapist and talking it over, and trust your gut. If you're asking me if you should call off the wedding, I think you already know the answer to that, because, yeah. Does that make sense? Get with a good therapist, talk it out. So read The Object of My Affection is in My Reflection, Coping with a Narcissist by Raquel Lerner. Absolutely. Okay. How do I educate myself on personality disorders? Well, there are tons of books out there. Object of My Affection is in My Reflection, Coping with a Narcissist by Raquel Lerner is a really good one for narcissism. If you suspect you have borderline, the Borderline Survival Guide by Chapman and Gratz, really good book. So it kind of demystifies the whole maladaptive behavior that borderline personality disorder sufferers have. So that's a great book. There's other books out there that are about antisocial personality disorder. You could take a class at your local, JC. You could, there's tons of ways to educate yourself. If you are going online, please be careful because there are tons of people out there that are not licensed professional therapists. And you want to be careful where you get your information from. So make sure the person is vetted. Make sure the person knows what they're talking about. So, for example, this is one reason why I love working with Susanna is because she has been there, done that. And she and I have had multiple conversations about our families of origin and what she went through with her divorce and everything like that. So it's like you want to make sure the person knows what they're talking about, and she does. So, Kim Said, I love her. She's great. Shahida Arabi, love her. She's great. There are others out there that I would be like, oh no, 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 no. So, vet them. Look at their history. Look at what people are saying about them. Look at what their education is. Look at how long they've been in the industry. Look at how they got into the industry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so there's tons of books. I recommend the books written by, PhDs and masters and things like that. That would be great, Shahida's got a great book out, Dealing with Toxic People. Oh, here it is. The Highly Sensitive Person's Guide to Dealing with Toxic People. I love this book. I recommend this book all the time. Susanna has got her book, You're Still That Girl, which was her surviving her divorce with her narcissist. So, there's my books. If I could find them, I have no idea where they are. I need to clean my office. Oh my God. But, What's Wrong with Your Dad? And You Can Lead a Horse to Water, but You Can't Make him cha-cha. Those are all about personality disorders. So there that is. Okay, that answers that questions. Are we? Ooh, we're almost done. Okay, so sorry I went on a bit of a rant. The court system really just cheeses me off. I don't like the way the courts are set up, and I don't like the way they're run, and I think it's unfair to the people going through divorces, etc., that each judge is saddled with 800 cases on average. So, they either need more judges or they need to streamline the system or they need to do something or they need to get somebody on there that understands domestic violence because that's what the majority of the divorce cases are, is some sort of intimate partner violence, emotional or physical, one of the two. And it's usually custody battles and things like that. And a lot of judges don't have any frame of reference. They're not social workers. They're not therapists. They're not psychologists. They're not, what they care about is the letter of the law. And the letter of the law is brutal because there's no emotions involved. And I think that's what's so shocking to a lot of people that get into a system with the courts and they're like, but don't they understand? And I'm like, facts, figures, that's all they care about. Facts and figures, which is really sad. So anyway, so yeah, you don't want to be throwing around psychological terms. You can call people out if they're absolutely projecting or lying or whatever, and you just call it what it is. No, this is your stuff, not mine. Yay, you're lying. That's not how this went down, And like I said, this is not for when you're in an abusive relationship. This is for, you're out socializing, like what happened to me at the party when the guy started telling incredibly inappropriate things and throwing names around and epithets and things like that. So yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay. So what am I talking about this week? OMG, I don't know. Hold on. Let me just do a quick little check here. See, I really should have my email up so I can see what I'm talking about. And of course I don't. Okay. Where is my mail to? No. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. So, the fourth is going to be adult children and family drama. Adult children and family drama. So basically, I'm going to be talking about how to help your adult children deal with the ex, how to help the adult children deal with the flying monkeys, etc., etc. So we're going to be talking about that. All right, you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.